Good morning, everyone. It's funny. It's every time that I get on this stream, every day that I get on here, just as we're about to go live, my robotic vacuum that lives right outside my office door decides it's time to go to work. We must have scheduled it for 10 a.m. To do a little house cleaning, and I don't know if you can hear that noise or not, but just as I start every day, I get a little vacuum starting my route, and then it goes off and does its thing. Anyway, good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday. Today is a little bit exciting for me, primarily because I I've been getting into this this baseball card thing, and the new 2021 baseball cards come out today. And so there's been all sorts of stuff going on. You can see I've got my Topps t-shirt on. But I'm going to make a run over to the card shop later today. Opening some packs from last year. They had these cool cards that were in there. And apparently if you just go to your local card shop, you can use these cards to get special stuff at the card shop. So I was going to go over there maybe over lunch and track that down. Anyway, Startup, Gold Zulu, Hawk 2000. Good morning. Welcome, everybody. It's a good day. It's still freezing cold here, and it's only getting colder as the week progresses. So hopefully at some point, we'll start seeing spring. I just saw somebody tweet yesterday that there's 53 days until spring. So, excuse me, 53 days. It is, for those of you that enjoy Fahrenheit, it is currently, I think it's like 19 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold. It's not unbearable, but it's cold. Unbearable here in the United States is usually below 0 Fahrenheit. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on. There's nothing else terribly exciting going on. I'm looking forward to the baseball cards. I have boxes and boxes of them coming. For those of you that have been following, I do in the evenings sometimes I do what's called baseball card breaking, where I buy a big box. Let me show you an example. So this is considered a jumbo box. There are like 400 something cards in this box in different packs. This is one from 2018, but I have 6 of these coming from the new 2021 set. And then this is considered a hobby box. You can see it's much thinner, but it's this is considered a hobby box. And these boxes hold not half as many cards, about 200. But they all have guaranteed autograph cards in them and all sorts of other cool stuff. And so I have 12 of the hobby boxes coming. And I'm going to be scheduling some breaks. So if you're into that kind of stuff or you just want to check it out, I'll have that all listed on eBay probably by this weekend. And they'll break next weekend. And I would imagine you can get in pretty affordably. If you just pick one team, probably $10. It's not an outrageous amount of money. But these cards are also popular because they're brand new. So no promises. I can't guarantee they're going to be $10, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's enough about baseball cards. What I want to do today is get us to a point where our skill does what it's supposed to do. And so I got to stop one more thing on my other computer. One second. Okay, I was doing a little work this morning on this code because I left it in a not great state yesterday because I had to get to office hours, which, by the way, if you missed the Alexa office hours yesterday, it was fantastic. Really good questions, really good discussion. A few of you were there. But so let's keep this rolling. We have our code, which looks like this. This is some of the stuff that we were working on yesterday. This is our answer intent where we came in and we can actually use our quiz intent as a way to pull the information out and get exactly what we need for the next quiz question. But one of the things that we ran into was that when we get to a situation where we have our last question, it didn't know what to do. And so what I'm going to do is kill this so we can hear our 9th and our 10th questions as we start our game. And then what we need to do is figure out what we want to do and how we can identify when the user's on their last question. So if we come in here, let's get our code started first. So let me fire that up. This should go pretty good. Does it open a terminal for me? Do I have to see the terminal? Debug console. There we go. We've got it started. So now I can just say open Jeff's trivia game. This should work. This is all very reliable. Maybe. There it is.
This is TKO Trivia. If you thought Jeopardy was challenging, you're in for a treat. You can say something like, give me a science question, or you can start today's game. What will it be?
So I'm just going to say start a game, which is the quiz that we can create anytime. And this should take me to my 9th question.
Something is definitely very broken. If only I could fix it myself. Sorry for the inconvenience. I've notified our developer.
Assignment to constant variable
What would you
in
like to
ask
do now?
question. This is probably just something that I did this morning. It's probably something silly. Line 9. Yeah, it's this. That's all. That was something I modified right at the end of what I was doing this morning. So let's try that again. Start a game.
Question number 9. I picked a tricky film question this time. In the history of the Academy Awards, 3 films have tied for the most Oscars with 11. Name one of the 3 films.
This is one of my favorite questions. So there's 3 different answers that you can give for this, but any of them are right. And it's the 3 films that have tied for the most Oscars, winning 11 Oscars for one film. The answers to that question are Ben-Hur, which is a film from back in the...
What is your answer?
When did Ben-Hur come out? 1959. Yeah, I was thinking 50s. So Ben-Hur, and then the other 2 are Titanic and Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. So there is... I'm also on Periscope. Yeah, why not? Startup, right? I figured I would give it a try and just see what the Periscope audience looks like. And it started strong. That was the first place that I got people. But since then, we only have 1 person remaining on Periscope, and it might actually be me. But if you're watching on Periscope, that one just left too. So we have nobody left on Periscope. Primarily, this is a Twitch audience. I do have 2 people watching on Facebook right now. So hi, Facebook friends. Anyway, so those are the 3 questions. I'm going to say Ben-Hur is my answer. There's 3 different answers for this, and that works totally fine for the setup we have. Get a right answer.
Way to go. You got that one right. Ben-Hur, Titanic, and The Lord of the Rings: Return of the King was the correct answer. For your 10th question, here's one from the politics category. The United States Congress, established under the Constitution, met in 2 other cities before settling in Washington, D.C. in 1800.
Oh, wow.
Name those 2 cities.
Good morning, Mom. The United States Congress, established under the Constitution, met in 2 other cities before settling in Washington, D.C. in 1800. Name those 2 cities. So they are New York and Philadelphia. Yesterday, I copied this, and it didn't work. So we're going to try this again. New York and Philadelphia. Now, I'm not going to hit enter on this yet.
What is your answer?
Because there's a couple of things that I want to check. If I look at my current quiz, there is nothing in here There's nothing in this data that I'm looking at right here that tells me how many questions they've answered, but I think we can roll that up. I think I can know, like, if there's a question instance record, then they have been asked a question. Good morning, Gold Zulu. So I wonder if I go to the quiz record, I don't know what to call this. We'll call it ask count. I don't like that name. And then I think this is going to be a formula. No, it's not. I think we can just do this with a count. A count of the number of quiz questions where question instance is not empty. Now, for our specific instance, that is true. We have this. So if I come in and delete these, I should now see with quiz that I have 8. This is actually really good because this tells me how many they've done. So I should, well, let's back up and see if this actually gets us what we want. So we're gonna go back to start a game.
For your 9th question, this is a fun film question for you.
What I want to see is what that number
character was
comes
played
through
by all of these
as.
people in film: George Burns, Morgan Freeman, Alanis Morissette.
Okay, so as I do this, the ask count is 8. But then I ask a question. So the ask count is technically wrong. The answer to this question is God. Let's see what we get here.
Bingo. You got that one right. The answer was God. Question number 10. From the politics category. Who was in office as President of the United States when the decision was taken to declare war on Germany during World War I?
Okay, so what I see here is that my ask count is now 9. But it's not actually 9, it's 10. How do I know the difference between whether the question has been asked or not?
Okay. What is your answer?
I guess I could increment that. That would be one way to do it. Let me see what's going on in the chat here. W. Georgia. So to go back to my question on name-free interactions, after answering what the user asked by using an intent in your skill, how would you approach it by getting them to use your skill? You say that my audio is choppy. Can someone else confirm that? Is the audio choppy today? I'll jump back to this. Is the video choppy? Can anybody hear me? Looks like I'm using the right microphone. Seems like everything's okay. Katal says everything is good. Father Goblin says everything is good. Gold Zulu says everything is good. Startup, I think it might be on your side, my friend. I'm so sorry. But it sounds like everybody else is getting good audio and video. So P2A 2020, that's a name I haven't seen recently. Thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. All right, let's keep it rolling. What I need to do is I get my quiz and then I ask a question. So if we go into ask question, what we need to do is, if it's a quiz, then we also want to increment, but I don't have that. Oh, I do have that data here. So maybe I could just do this. Take this. If we've passed in a quiz question list, then we could also say, because we're literally about to ask a question, there's no going back, there's no situation in which that doesn't happen. We could say session attributes dot, let's make sure we get this right. Session attributes dot current quiz dot fields dot ask count. Okay, so let's try that. Dot current quiz dot fields dot asked count plus. That should do it. Glad that it worked for you, Startup. I'm glad that the refresh solved your problem. Always good. So we mentioned earlier that we had viewers from a couple of different platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Periscope. We are now at a point where all of our viewers are only on Twitch. Oh, and as I say that, someone jumps back on Periscope. But it tends to be that early on, a bunch of people tune in, and then everybody on those other platforms drops off, and the people that are on Twitch continue to grow and grow as we continue the stream. Usually, right about the time we hit an hour is when we hit our peak viewership. But I try not to think about any of that stuff because I really am not here to chase numbers or have thousands of viewers. I mean, all of those things are nice, but that's not really why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I want to get some coding done. I want to build some things, and this is a great way to do that. So, all right, so this changes my asked count. And then when I ask the question, building the question number was assigned earlier. This is the inversion. That's a question number. I don't really care about that. what I do want to know, and I think I look at this in answer intent, is I think we're just going to have to get into this. Interesting. Okay, so let's just run this. We're going to back up some data. So we'll take this back to where there's 2 questions left in the quiz. We'll say start a game. And let's see what we get. Maybe.
Question number 9. I hope you like this one about film. What film, based upon Saturday Night Live characters, used the tagline, "You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll hurl"?
Okay, so if I look at this right here, my ask count is 9. That's what came into my skill. So this means I'm updating it on the fly, and this is a real true number of the question that we are on.
Okay, what is your answer?
So we'll say Wayne's World for this. That is the correct answer. Cool, we got that right.
Righto. You got that one right. The answer was Wayne's World. For your 10th question,
You guys can't see
from
what I'm
the
doing.
politics category. What is the first word of the text of the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States?
This is a tricky one. You really need to know the Constitution. Thanks, W. George. I just realized it myself. Thank you for that. Also, we can fix science.
Okay. What is your answer?
So this is my 10th question. So this is the time at which, if I answer this question, we're definitely going to get an error because the system is now going to look for an 11th question. So we can see, though, that our ask count is still 9. Why is that? Our ask count should be 10. Interesting. Oh, but it is 10. It shouldn't matter, Gold Zulu. That's a good question. But what I do with my question, and this is ways to improve this, is if I say Wayne's World is here. I have Wayne's World without the apostrophe, but we could also say Wayne World. These are my synonyms. So as the skill gets modified, as I make these new synonyms in this column here, these are what are automatically inserted into my dynamic entities. And so if I have additional values that make sense, I just add them as synonyms here in this column, and then automatically they are in circulation. I don't have to update any slots or do anything like that. It's all powered right here from the database. And I actually got a question in office hours about this specific problem. They were trying to add, someone was adding 300 new questions to their trivia game. And they were running into issues because their slot was getting so big and it had so many terms in it. And I didn't get a chance to reply to them because they sent their question in on YouTube and I didn't see it in time. But if you're watching, this is the way to do it, using dynamic entities, especially for something like a trivia game. Yes, this is all dynamic, Gold Zulu. I do not update my slot at all. In fact, if we look at my slot for this, if I go to my slot types, no, this is not it. Yeah, you can use a CSV file. That's also fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we look at this, if I look at my slot types for answer, there's literally one slot value, and it's just my last name. That's it. There is nothing else in this slot at all. And what I do in my code is when we go to question intent, it's probably actually in ask question. In ask question right here, I use this directive to update my dynamic entities where I replace the values in that slot with the ones that make sense. And in this case, the one that makes sense is the right answer to the trivia question. That's the only thing that I care to match. If you say anything else, I want to treat it like a wrong answer. And so this dynamically updates my slot as I ask the question. And then it makes it very easy for me. Zachman's music should be coming about now. There it is. Welcome, Zachman. So that's yeah. So it's all dynamical, Tulu. I don't have to do anything other than modify this record. The moment this is changed, it's live and in the database. And I like this because I can do this from anywhere. I can do it from my phone. I can do it from anything. A CSV file, the limitations I have on that is if I realize something's wrong, I still have to go get to a machine where I can modify that CSV file. I have to then upload it and put it into the server someplace so that it lives on. With this is a web page that I can get to from anywhere on Earth. There's an app that allows me to modify it as well. And if I recognize that there's something wrong, I can go in, add a slight record to this database like we just did with Wayne World. And then instantly it is up to date. So I don't have to go into any other systems or modify files or anything like that. It really is just as simple as updating a field. So I'm still not certain about how this is going to work. So it's still waiting for me to give the answer Congress. I guess we could just see what happens. Congress. And it should blow up.
Whoops.
Yeah.
It looks like one of our programmers broke something.
So the thing we're running into is cannot read property split of undefined. This is just a remnant of the fact
in the meantime, would
that
you
on
like to
line
ask
9,
for a random question or start a new quiz?
oh, this is kind of interesting. Maybe I could just do it here. Ooh. I hadn't considered that the answer intent will run, it'll do all its stuff, it'll give its response, and then it kicks me back here where I'm getting my active quiz, which means it'll have an up-to-date value, which means that the change that I made a second ago, I don't even need to make. I don't even need to do this. So quiz intent, what we can now do is say if quiz.fields.askCount is less than 10. This is lovely. And we're going to do this. Otherwise, we are going to just have some kind of like put a pretty bow on your quiz kind of scenario. This also makes me want to have one more piece of data here in my quiz, which is correct count. This is also going to be a counter. We're going to go into quiz question. We only want records where is correct is true. And so I can see that I got 9 of them right. And if we look at this, there's 9 checkboxes and 1 missing. So this also now gives me a quick summary of exactly what's happening inside my quiz. I can use this at any time, but especially at the end, I would want to be able to say, hey, you got 9 out of 10 right. That's pretty good. Or whatever. I'm not sure what the right answer for all of that is, but 2 minutes, like I just get pulled into social media. Let's not do that. Okay, so I have 9 out of 10 right. So that means in here, if this is right, we're going to have some sort of speech and we probably want some different conditions, right? We should divide it up. Maybe if you only get 4 or fewer right, that's kind of like a, oh man. And then if you get 5 through 7, 5, 6, or 7 right, that's like a, hey, you did an okay job. And if you get 8, 9, or 10, 8 or 9 right, it's like, wow, that was a nice performance. And then there should be something for 10, like that was perfect. So we need to think about how we want to do that speech. I guess for now, let's see, how do we want to do this? For now, we could just have a switch We're going to switch on ask count. That will always be a number. No, correct count. Still always we will a number between 0 and 10. And so we can say case 0. We could do something fun for that. Break case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4. That'll be a case 5, case 6, and case 7. Case 8, case 9, and case 10. Okay, so this will give us our cases for the different scenarios. And then what we need to do, this is pretty simple. We just need one of these. Down here at the bottom after our switch. All right, take care, startup. Maybe we'll see in a bit. And this also means that I would like, do I have a like an action query line? Yeah, that's perfect. Going to need one of them. So we'll get an action query ahead of time. Data exists, good. So this is going to get me a random action query, which is like, what do you want to do now? That'll be our ending. And then we're also going to need a line like that. This is going to be, what do we want to call this? Quiz summary. And so we should probably go find our speech types, which live somewhere in here. This is going to be quiz summary. We have our speech type. In here, then, we should be able to say dot quiz summary. Great. All of that is wonderful. So we have this quiz summary thing. So we got to do this a little differently. Whoa. What just happened there? Okay. So this is going to be let quiz summary. And then we can just say quiz summary equals. And this isn't going to be quiz summary. This has got to be like quiz summary 0. Yeah, we're going to have a few of those. So we'll label this appropriately. We'll call this 1-4. Can't do it that way. Okay. 1 to 4. This will be 5 to 7. This is 8 to 9. And this is 10. So we've got some speech to write. This is a lot of content that we're gonna have to create in our database, but it's gonna give the user that nice, warm, fuzzy feeling that they did well. So let's go back to speech types because this is not accurate anymore. Let's call this 0. 10. This is 8_9. This is 5_7. And this is 1_4. Okay, and we'll take the same thing up here. This becomes 0. Uh, 8_9. 5_7. And 1_4. Okay, so we have all of our speech types. That's great. We're calling out to these things to try to get them out of the database. And then what we want to do is, this is going to be quiz summary. Let's do this. const speak output equals. This is going to be quiz summary and then action query. Join. So, and then this stays as speak output. And this becomes, we don't need the directive. Okay, so now we just need to put some data in the database for each of these types. I'll just do one for now, because I'm gonna have to do some like replacing and stuff, especially for the middle three. So let's add a little bit of data to our database so we can make sure this all works. So if we come into speech, come on, let's call this down here at the bottom. We call it, what did I call it? Question summary? Quiz summary. Quiz summary. Okay. So here, en us quiz summary 0. Of course, we don't have a matching record for it, but we do now. And this is going to say, I don't know how you did it. You got every single question wrong. I would recommend spending the rest of your day reading a book. Any book. Okay. So that's fun for 0, is the encouragement to go read a book. Now we need a quiz summary 1 through 4. And set that to enus. This one is again, we're gonna have to like pass in how many they actually got right. That was not an amazing performance. You got questions correct out of 10. I am optimistic that you will do better next time. Okay. Next one, enus. Go. Quiz summary 5 to 7. You did pretty well that time. Correct answers is not the worst I've seen. I've seen plenty. Okay. enus. I keep cranking on speech here. Quiz summary 8_9. This should be pretty positive. It's not amazing, but it's pretty positive. Getting correct counts out of 10 is pretty excellent. It's not a perfect score, but none of us are really perfect anyways. Nice work. And then finally, we need to be crazy excited for getting them all right. Quiz, summary, 10. Wow, you got every single question right. 10 out of 10. That is astonishing. That sounds like something Brian would say. Astonishing. You deserve a big congratulations. I'll bet you can't do it again. Okay, so we at least have a summary for each of them. We will obviously, as we do with all of our voice apps, want to go back and write lots of other variations of these. But you'll notice for our middle three, 1, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, we have this correct count variable that we've inserted into our string, and we want to be able to replace that. So we got to fix that in our code also. And so to do that, we are going to wrap these. So this one, start by wrapping them in parentheses. And then out at the end, I have this done a million other places, so we should just go find one. It just looks like this. Okay. So out here at the end, just slap that on there, and this is going to be correct count, and the correct count happens to be the value that we're switching. Okay. So now that I have that, we can just take it. So, and that should do it. We might, I haven't tested this, but we might have just finished a quiz. Create a situation in which you can actually finish a quiz, which would be lovely. All right, let's get rid of you and you. And let's try that again. There's one last piece we need to do. I'm going to leave myself a note just so I don't forget this. There's one last thing we need to do in here, which is we get our random speech action query, we get the correct count, we do all this stuff. But right here, we need to mark the quiz as inactive so that it is really done. Okay. So we will have to come back and add that one last piece, but we should at least get like the closing ceremony of fixing this. So let's start a game. This should take us to question 9. Should.
Question number 9. From the film category. In the film Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Steve Martin's character Neil Page encounters John Candy's character Del Griffith, who is a salesman of what objects?
This is shower rings. Okay.
Alrighty. You got that one right. The answer was shower curtain rings. For your 10th question, from the politics category. What two men are on currently circulating US bills who were never president?
So that's Franklin and Hamilton. Let's see Franklin and Hamilton. See what we get.
Getting 9 out of 10 is excellent. It's not a perfect score, but none of us are really perfect anyways.
That worked on the first try.
Nice work. What would you like to do now?
So there's one piece missing from this, which is I didn't get all of the answer intent stuff to happen. So let's look at why that didn't happen. So we get into the answer intent, and we get the answer right, which is in here. We get all of that stuff. And then we don't do anything with it. quiz intent. Quiz intent, what do I do up here? I must have that pre-speech coming in, right? Pre-speech. I just forgot to use it. It exists. So pre-speech needs to go here. That's it. I think that's it. Now we still need to mark the quiz as inactive, but let's verify that. We'll just take the 1 away. Verify that this, in fact, does give us our final answer. We should expect 9 out of 10, right? I got one of them wrong. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Let's change that to question instance. How do I know which one it is? Question instance, it is the one that ends in 5ZZA. We'll mark it as correct. All right, so now if we look, make sure, data, we have 9 questions. So if we say start the game, this should give us our last question.
Number 10. I hope you like this one about politics. How many US presidents have been assassinated?
4.
Hip hip hooray. You got that one right. 4 was the correct answer. 4 presidents have been assassinated: Abraham Lincoln, James A. Garfield, William McKinley, and John F. Kennedy. Wow. You got every single question right. 10 out of 10. That is astonishing. You deserve a big congratulations. I'll be you can't do it again. What would you like to do now?
I'll bet. Okay, well that all worked. This is really coming together, everybody. We now have the ability for you to create your own 10-question quiz just by saying start a game, and it will take you through the full journey of asking those 10 questions. You can always leave and come back, and it'll pick up right where you left off. And the one last piece that we don't have in this, and this is the other thing that I wanted to work on this morning, is let's come into quiz and let's get rid of our quiz. And let's get rid of quiz question records. No, I want all of them, please. Delete all of them. There we go. So if we look at this, when I start a game, what it does right now is it just says, "Welcome to the game." Or no, it doesn't. It doesn't say that. That's what I wanted to say. It does. It just says, "Here's your first question." What I need to do is we have this. If quiz.fields ask count is less than 10. But I feel like there's another case, which is if quiz.fields.ask count is it 0 or 1? I guess it would be 0 right now. And we still want to ask a question. No, I don't need to do this here. I don't need to do this here because this condition also includes what I want. It does all this other stuff. What I need to do is where's pre-speech? Pre-speech just comes in as a thing. So I should just be able to say, if this is true, if it equals 0, then pre-speech shouldn't have anything else. So I'm going to say pre-speech equals. We're going to say something like, okay, you just know this is a challenging 10-question quiz that will give you one question from 10 of our different categories. This is a challenging 10-question quiz that will give you one question from 10 of our different categories. Let's just do that for now. This is gonna be like quiz intro. I don't think I have anything like that yet in my speech. Quiz. We just recently started adding quizzes too. So sort. Quiz. Quiz is here now. So we have question number, quiz summary, but what we need is a quiz intro. So let's do that. Quiz intro. Oh, please don't do that. And we'll just take this little sentence that we wrote and dump that in here. And we'll have some more of those, obviously. Let me turn my sorting off. That annoys me. Quiz intro. This is a challenging 10-question quiz that will give you one question from 10 of our different categories. I don't want to say, are you ready or anything like that. I just want to go. I oftentimes find myself wanting to say, are you ready? Let's do this or whatever. But realistically, they asked to start a quiz. Yeah, of course they're ready. So this becomes something different now. This becomes await data.getRandom speech. This is going to be data.speech types dot a thing that doesn't exist yet. Quiz intro. Quiz intro. Intro. Okay. That's good. This comes down here to quiz int. Get out of my way. Quiz intro is good. Now in here we should be able to say quiz intro, and then we'll take our cal. Okay. So that should do the thing. That should get me my speech. And then we're assigning that as pre-speech and passing that through to ask the question. So it's the thing that gets asked before the question. This should work. Let's go here. Do we have a quiz right now? No questions. Okay. So if I say start a game, do I get my little intro?
Question number 1.
I did not.
Here's one from the music category. What is the stage name of 80s pop music star George Allen O'Dowd?
What? It's got to be the... I need to see what number is coming through here. I feel like it should be 0.
What is your answer?
But I don't actually know. Catal knows. It's Boy George. Let's do a little console log on quiz and see what our ask count actually is. So let's go back, delete some data. All of you get to go away. I really expect that value would be 0. Like right here, correct count. This is before I've asked a question. I haven't asked the question yet. So it kind of feels like it should be 0, but we'll find out right here.
For your first question, here's one from the tradition and beliefs category. Who was the first Roman Catholic president of the United States?
What is happening? Did I not? Maybe I just didn't restart the service? I thought I did.
Okay. What is your answer?
Okay. Let's try that again. Start a game.
For your first question, this is a fun
There it
film
is.
question for you.
Quiz Fields.
Which James Bond film has a title that is also the Bond family motto?
Right there. That's it. Okay. Couldn't figure out why that wasn't working, but doing an assignment instead of a
Okay. What is your answer?
Boolean comparison doesn't work. All right, now we should be good. Start a game. Give me my intro.
This is a challenging 10-question quiz that will give you one question from 10 of our different categories. Question number 1. Here's one from the business world category. What three-letter word is a nickname for a Harley-Davidson and also the stock ticker symbol for the Harley-Davidson company?
HOG. Hog.
Bravo. You got that one right. The answer was hog. Question number 2. I picked a tricky food and drink.
This is
question
working
this
so
time.
well. I am so incredibly pleased with how this is going.
What is the name of the beef soup invented in Hungary in the 9th century AD?
That's going to be some goulash.
Hurrah. You got that one right. The answer to that question was goulash. For your third question, from the history category. In what year did Hurricane Katrina strike the United States?
2005. Let's run our way all the way through this quiz.
Ka-ching. You got that one right. The answer was 2005. You just unlocked an achievement.
Nice.
You completed your 50th question in TKO Trivia. For your fourth question, I picked a tricky tradition and beliefs question this time.
This is all fitting so nicely together. The achievements just blended right in
Which
there.
is the first book in the New Testament of the Bible?
That's going to be Matt.
Ka-ching. You got that one right. The answer to that question was Matthew. Question number 5. This is a fun geography question for you.
Where in the world is
Running through Vienna, Bratislava, Belgrade, and Budapest, what river runs through more world capitals than any other?
This is the Danube.
Yowza. You got that one right. The Danube River was the correct answer. For your sixth question, here's one from the sports and games category. What is the American name for the card game the English call Patience?
Solitaire. Spelled that wrong, maybe. No.
Phew. You got that one right. Solitaire was the correct answer. Question number 7. Here's one from the language category. Apart from English and Spanish, what is the language most spoken in American homes?
Catul, you're absolutely right. This is not scripted. This is completely dynamic. Completely. So I think that's one of the most fun pieces of this, and why I like writing voice so much is that it's so interesting to be able to take.
What is your answer?
It's so interesting to be able to take all of these individual speech elements and find ways to compose them in a way that makes it feel unique and different every single time. We are playing a trivia game in which I cannot predict what it's going to say to me next. That's fun. What is my answer for this one? Mandarin.
You might. You got that one right. The answer was Chinese or Mandarin. For your 8th question, I hope you like this one about technology. Which letter is the farthest to the right on a standard keyboard?
Anyone know? Anyone use a keyboard? What's the letter furthest to the right on a standard keyboard? It is the letter P. This is another one where I'm not sure if I'm going to get the answer right, though. I may have to add some synonyms to this. Let's see. I had trouble with W. Yeah, see, it doesn't like that.
That answer is not correct. The answer was P. Question number 9.
So
Here's one from the nature category.
let's look at our questions.
What anabolic steroid is the principal male sex hormone?
So I have that there. I think we'll just add we'll add this P dot and P dot. Here's another cool thing we can do. We can back it up. So let's get rid of this one.
Okay. What is your answer?
No, we can't do that because it'll pick a different question. But that's okay. Well, we'll do it anyway, just to show that we can back up if we want to.
Question number 8. I picked a tricky technology question this time. What 1982 arcade game, featuring ostriches, eggs and a pterodactyl, is credited for popularizing the concept of two-player cooperative play?
Joust.
Bam. You got that one right. The answer was Joust. Question number 9. Here's one from the nature category.
This has been such a productive week. We've really made some good progress on
Products
this.
made from trees and used in the wine industry comes mainly from Portugal.
Cork.
Hurrah. You got that one right. The answer was cork. Portugal produces about half the world output of commercial cork, and its exports over recent years have accounted for around 70% of world trade. For your 10th question, I hope you like this one about literature. What author was employed as a taste tester for Cadbury Chocolate Company before penning his novel about Charlie?
Roald Dahl. Now, this should wrap everything up for me, in addition to telling me I got the question right.
You might. You got that one right. The answer to that question was Roald Dahl. Wow. You got every single question right. 10 out of 10.
Is that right?
That
I
is
did.
astonishing. You deserve a big congratulations. I'll bet you can't do it again. What should we do next? You can say give me a random question, or start today's game.
Okay, so we still have a little cleanup to do. So if I say start a game, it should just give me that again.
Wow. You got every single question right. 10 out of 10. That is astonishing. You deserve a big congratulations. I'll bet you can't do it again. What should we do next?
Let's see what happens if I do that and have none right.
I don't know how you did it, but you got every single question wrong. I would recommend spending the rest of your day reading a book. Any book. What should we do this time?
That's pretty funny to me. All right, let's hear the 1 to 4 answer.
That was not an amazing performance. You got 1 questions correct out of 10. I am optimistic that you will do better next time. What would you like to do now? You can start today's game, or ask for a trivia question.
And let's do a... This should be 4 right. And obviously the user won't be able to do this. We'll,
That was not an amazing performance.
you got 3 correct.
You got 3 correct out of 10.
Okay.
I am optimistic that you will do better next.
Tell me how I did with 4.
That was not an amazing performance. You got 4 correct out of 10. I am optimistic that you will do better next time. What?
Obviously, we'll clean these up, right? We want to have a variety of responses for this.
You did pretty well that time. 5 correct answers is not the worst I've seen, and I've seen plenty. What would you like to do now?
All right, and let's hear a 7 or an 8. 1, 2, that's 7 and 8.
Getting 8 out of 10 is excellent. It's not a perfect score, but none of us are really perfect anyways. Nice work. What would you like to do now? You can start today's game, or
This is
ask
lovely.
a question.
This is lovely. Okay. We're at a spot where a user can play a quiz and they can ask individual questions. Our next steps are going to be about being greedy. And I don't think I'm going to I don't think I'm going to take that on today. But one of the things that we've had open so far is the idea that you can ask for a specific category question, right? Like we have these buttons that I've set up here. Give me a science question, give me a sports question. You are not going to be permitted to do that without owning the category. You have to purchase it. And so you can purchase one individual category for 99 cents if you want, or many, and each one costs 99 cents. But for $4 a month or $5, maybe $5 a month, you will have access to all of the categories all the time. Now, you can still start a quiz, and it'll give you a 10-question quiz. But if you really just want to dive into one specific category, like I really love sports trivia, then you're going to need to be able to pay for that. And I think we'll also have a way, and let's add some issues to this because we can clear some too. So be able to create a custom 10-question quiz. Done. Mark as closed. That gets composes and asks a question. We did that. That's closed. What? That's closed. Okay. The repeat intent doesn't do that yet. We have one more thing we need to do here, which is in this condition that we're here, where their ask count is less than 10. I should make this more specific. Else if quiz.fields.ask count equals 10. That's the only time that we should be in here. If they have an ask count of 10, then we're going to do some stuff. We need to mark this quiz as inactive. So to do that, all we need to do is come into our quiz table, maybe, and update this to is active. So I need to find a way to do that. It should be pretty easy to do. We're just going to do like an update. So I have update question instance. We'll use this as our example. We're going to call this update quiz status. Okay. So this is going to become update quiz status. And that. And in here, update what? Why is update way up here? Move these. Const. And then down here at the bottom. Okay. So that gets it registered. We have our function here, and this time we're going to be updating a record in quiz. And question instance ID, this is going to be quiz ID. That's really all I need. And so this is going to be, let's look at our table. The record ID is the quiz ID, and then I'm just setting is active equal to false. So the only thing I need in here is active false. This becomes quiz ID, and that should be it. That update quiz status now exists, which means that right here, I should be able to say const quiz status equals data.update quiz status, where I pass in my quiz ID, which is just quiz.fields.record ID. Like so. That should do it. That should get us where we want to be. You're going to cooperate? Cool. So let's go back to our quiz. We'll do a little rewind. We'll get rid of this answer and start the game.
For your 10th question, from the literature category,
There's one more thing I think I want to do.
what is the name of the forest where Winnie the Pooh lives?
100-acre wood.
Bam. You got that one right. The answer to that question was 100-acre wood. Getting 9 out of 10 is excellent. It's not a perfect score, but
My
none of us
quiz
are
is
really
no longer
perfect anyway.
active. That's good.
Nice work. What should we do next?
Which means
You
that
can still give me a random question or start today's game.
if I say start a game now, it should start a whole new game. And it did. Awesome. And so now they're locked into that quiz until they finish it.
This is a challenging
This
10
is lovely.
question quiz that will give you one question from 10 of our different categories. Question number 1. This is a fun tradition and beliefs question for you. In the Bible, who was the younger brother of Esau?
Okay. I think I can take that to do out. But that marks it as inactive. But there's one more piece that I want to fix here. There's also, if we think about our
Okay. What is your answer?
session attributes, right? We have current quiz question ID and current quiz. We should get rid of all of these. Like this should be a full purge. So we're going to say current quiz question ID is 1. So right here, we'll just say session attributes dot current quiz question ID. And then session attributes dot current quiz. I feel like we could do that with everything, right? So then we also have those other 3 values are these 3. Current ID. Session attributes dot current question instance. And the last one was current question. Okay. I'll go away. Let's do this one more time with one question left in our quiz. So I'm going to delete this record. I'm going to mark this as active. I'm going to delete all of these records. and get rid of this. Okay. So start a game. This should give me my 10th question from the first quiz.
For your 10th question, from the literature category. What is the name of the forest where Winnie the Pooh lives?
100 Acre Wood. Come on.
Oh snap. You got that one right. 100 Acre Wood was the correct answer. Getting 9 out of 10 is excellent. It's not a perfect score, but none of us are really perfect anyways. Nice work. What should we do next?
So, what I should see is that none of those variables are in my session attributes anymore, and they aren't. We've eliminated all of them. My quiz got marked as inactive, which means we're good. We've cleaned everything up that we were doing. Oh, this is lovely. Yeah, we're in a good spot. So I think we can stop for today. Let's go back to our issue list. Do we have anything else I can take out of here? We have a lot of achievement stuff I still want to do. Repeat intent still needs to eliminate a question, but that's okay for now. So let's add a couple new achievements. Add in skill purchasing when a user requests a specific category or quiz. This will be 0.99 for each category, or 4.99 for all of them in a monthly subscription. Okay, submit a new issue. That's something else that we'll work on here. Yeah, I think that's going to do it for today. That feels good progress. We're at 11:15. We did 75 minutes of stuff, and it all works. I love it. We're not far from wanting to go start and beta test and get you guys starting to play with this a little bit. Let's see what Lana's game is up to. Lana Lux is streaming. Go see what she's doing today. Make sure to make some noise. Drop my last name. It's always a good way to let them know where we came from. And will we be back tomorrow? Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. But there is a new episode of Alexa and Friends tomorrow. So make sure to tune in at noon Eastern, which is 45 minutes from now. So 24 hours and 45 minutes from now, we'll be going live with Alexa and Friends, where we're going to be talking with Sarah Andrew Wilson, who's one of our Alexa champions. Should be an awesome episode. So I will see you guys all tomorrow. Take care. Bye.